Welcome back to a brand new explainer. Today, we are stepping into literal championship territory. We're going to move way past your standard everyday words like manual or manage, and we're diving straight into some really advanced competition-level vocabulary. And honestly, the best part? Every single word we're unpacking today is deeply rooted in just one ancient Latin word for hand.
So I want you to think about this for a second. What on earth could a puppet, a Roman soldier marching in formation, and a freed slave possibly have in common? I mean, on the surface, absolutely nothing, right? But language has a funny way of hiding these incredible secrets. As you'll see, they all share this hidden morphological connection. It's like a thread of ancient history woven right into the very letters we use to spell them today.
Okay, here's our game plan for today. We'll start with the championship round, jump into handling and control, and then take a quick trip back to Roman antiquity. After that, we'll look at law and guidance, put our new skills to the test in a detective workshop, and wrap the whole thing up with a rapid review. All right, let's kick things off. Section 1, the championship round.
Look, this is where we kind of leave the basics behind. We're going to start analyzing vocabulary that most folks really only encounter in advanced literature, maybe dense science labs, or, up on a national spelling bee stage. But here's the secret. No matter how intimidating, how incredibly long, or how complex the words get today, they all trace back to one simple, completely understandable Latin root, manus, which just means hand. If you can just keep that one physical image of a hand in your mind, you're going to be able to instantly decode vocabulary that trips up even the most seasoned readers.
Moving right along to Section 2, handling and control. Let's break down this really fantastic word, manipulate. It actually comes from our root manus, meaning hand, and plere, which means to fill. So literally translated, it means to fill the hand, or handle with the hand. And over the centuries, that modern meaning evolved to mean handling something really skillfully, operating it, or influencing it. Think about it. When a scientist is carefully adjusting a high-powered microscope, they are manipulating that scientific equipment. When a puppeteer pulls the strings, they're manipulating a puppet. You can literally see the physical hands at work right inside the word itself. So whenever you hear that mani prefix, your brain should just immediately signal hand.
Now, context is absolutely crucial because it fundamentally shifts the meaning of a word. Take the adjective manipulative, for instance. In an educational setting, teachers use positive manipulative materials. Think of things like wooden blocks for math, objects kids can physically handle to learn hands-on skills. But psychologically, well, manipulative behavior means someone is deceptively trying to control or handle somebody else's emotions. It's the exact same root, the exact same word, but completely different applications based purely on context. And this brilliantly illustrates how we can just snap different endings onto our root, almost like Lego bricks, to build entirely new words. If we add the suffix tation, boom, we get manipulation, the noun form representing the act of handling data or images. But if we snap on able instead, we get manipulable. That's an adjective meaning something is capable of being handled, like a highly manipulatable robot arm in a manufacturing plant. Once you know that core root, the suffixes are really just there to tell you what job the word is doing in the sentence.
Let's switch gears a bit. Section 3, Roman antiquity.
So way before the word manipulate even existed in English, there was this original Latin word manupulus, and it literally meant a handful, a bundle, or just a small group of things. This incredibly simple literal concept of just holding a handful is actually the grandfather of the entire manipulate family we were just talking about. Understanding that leap from a physical handful of objects to a really complex English verb is just fantastic etymology training.
Let's see how this actually builds out in history. Manipulus eventually gave us the word manipul. Now, originally, a manipul was literally just a handful of wheat. But the Romans were famously highly organized, right? So they started using the word to describe a small, controlled group, a handful, of Roman soldiers. It actually became an official military unit. And from there, we get the adjective manipular, which historians use today to describe the rows and specific formations of those exact soldiers. So remember that question I asked earlier? What does a Roman soldier have in common with a puppet? Well, this is it. They are both managed by the hand.
Just follow this incredible language journey for a second. Around 100 CE, we had the Latin manipulus. Fast forward to the 1200s, and it morphs in Old French into manegiae, which was actually related to training horses by hand. Then this flows through Italian in the 1400s, and finally, by the 1600s, it arrives in English, giving us words like manage and manipulate. It's fascinating, isn't it? Words aren't static. They travel across continents and centuries, evolving their spelling, but they keep that core hand identity completely intact. All right, on to Section 4, Law and Guidance. The idea of the hand didn't just influence science and the military. It deeply, deeply shaped the historical legal system, too. Take this fantastic national spelling bee word, manumit. Let's break this one down together. It combines manus, meaning hand, with the Latin verb mide, meaning to send. So literally translated, it means to send from the hand. But what does that mean historically? Well, in ancient Roman law, an enslaved person was considered to be entirely in the hand, or the strict control of their master. To send them from the hand meant to legally release them. Thus, manumit literally means to free a slave. It's a single word carrying massive historical weight.
And here we have its noun form, manumission. This refers to the actual legal act and formal process of releasing someone from slavery. You can almost visualize the ancient legal scrolls being drafted and signed, right? Understanding the etymology here doesn't just help you spell a really difficult word, it unlocks a profound piece of human history that was directly born out of Roman law. Now, check out these two really rare but super cool advanced words side by side. On one side, we have manuduction. We know manus means hand, and ducere means to lead. So this is the act of gently leading by the hand, like a parent guiding a toddler across the street, or a teacher offering gentle guidance. But on the other side, we have manucaption. Here, the root combines with the concept of capture. This is a very strict historical legal term for physically taking possession of something or someone by hand. So you've got gentle guidance on one end and strict legal possession on the other. Completely different vibes, but both are built on the exact same foundation.
Okay, it's time to roll up our sleeves. Section 5, Detective Workshop. Now we get to actually apply these etymological tools. If you want to be a true word detective, you don't need a heavy 10-pound dictionary. You just need to follow these 5 simple steps. First, identify any prefixes. Second, locate the root, which, as we know today, is manus. Third, spot the suffix so you know the word's job, like if it's a noun or an adjective. Fourth, translate the literal meaning, something like send from the hand. And finally, step 5, apply the modern context. This exact 5-step process is the framework championship-level spellers use to tackle complex words they have literally never seen before. And speaking of championships, here are some incredibly useful competitive spelling tips directly from our source material. First off, stop trying to memorize a random string of letters. It doesn't work. Instead, memorize common building blocks. You should know your suffixes by heart. Tation, tiv, able, meant, session. Always remember that the prefix mani is almost always a flashing neon sign indicating hand. And finally, when you hear a word spoken out loud, listen really closely for stress patterns and unusual vowel sounds, because they often give away huge hints about the word's language of origin. All right, let's bring it all home. Section 6, Rapid Review. Let's quickly consolidate the power of everything we've just discussed today. Manipulate literally means handle with the hand, and modernly it means to operate or control. Manipul, literally a handful, historically representing a Roman military unit. Manumit, to send from the hand, meaning to legally free from slavery. Manuduction, leading by the hand, which translates to guidance. And manucaption, taking by hand, meaning strict legal possession. As you can see, once you grasp that literal historical meaning of the root, the modern definition naturally and effortlessly just clicks right into place. And honestly, that brings us to the core takeaway of this entire explainer. Championship spellers, and truly effective focused learners in general, they do not memorize long words one by one. That's just way too inefficient. Instead, they recognize the hidden root inside them. They look for the architectural bones of the language. When you learn to see the roots, you aren't just learning one word, you are unlocking entire families of words all at once. So I'm going to leave you with this final challenge. The root, manus, is hiding absolutely everywhere, in history books, in complex science articles, in dense legal documents, and even in your everyday conversation. Now that you are a certified word detective, where are you going to find it next? Keep your eyes peeled, keep breaking those words down, and I will see you in the next explainer.